A large percentage of you listening are codependent. And after divorces, we can experience very low self esteem and, of course, depression, and unfortunately, even PTSD. This codependency shares traits with these other closely related phenomenons. Let me prove it. Here are 10 signs of codependency. One, individuals who are codependent awfully struggle with low self esteem. They constantly seek approval, crave attention, and the desire to be needed, despite possessing potential, skills, and professional experience, or even talent. Two, they may exhibit controlling behavior, instructing others of how to behave. While they yearn to maintain control over themselves and others, they lack confidence to believe in their own abilities and rely on others to define them. Three, codependent individuals constantly seek approval, attention, and the sense of importance from others. Four, they go to great lengths to please others, even when it's not necessary. Five, codependent individuals tend to take care of everyone around them. These traits stem from the need to feel needed, important, and acknowledged by others. Six, throughout this process, codependent individuals become reactive to others, often neglecting their own well being while being proactive in helping others. Seven, as a result, their personal interests take a backseat and their relationship becomes exploitive for the codependent, even though they may exhibit controlling behavior and expert control over others. Eight, codependent individuals may experience strong emotions but are emotionally vulnerable. They rely on relationships and others to validate their self worth. And nine, while they may possess individual strengths and capabilities, they are reluctant to explore them independently. Their entire existence revolves around the presence of others. And lastly, 10, codependents may also develop dependencies on substances or exhibit personality disorders as a byproduct of their codependency. Until you fix these traits, you have no business dating, and dating will create way more problems than it fixes. Just like we tell a drug, it's just like a drug addict. He thinks his next hit fixes his problems, when really it's just making his problems way worse. Now, you can have friends of the opposite sex, right? If you're thinking about dating, but just don't think that your issues will go away when you find someone who fills your time and sits on a couch with you and takes you to dinner. We are social animals. We need friends. It reminds me of a joke of the guy who moved into a wilderness. And he was there for months and months and months. And he finally looked across the valley and he saw another man way in the, in the distance pulling a mule. And he waved him down and hollered. And it took him 30 minutes to meet in the middle. And the guy goes, "Oh, I didn't know anybody was out here." And the guy goes, "Yeah, you're my neighbor. I've been looking at you, waiting on you to get settled in." He goes, "Man, I'm just lonely out here." And the guy goes, "Well, why don't you come to my house tonight? We're going to have a big party. There's going to be all the fighting and gambling and drinking you can handle." And the guy goes, "Great. What time's everybody get there?" He goes, "Oh, it's just going to be me and you. Anytime's fine." Right? It's just people need people in their lives, right? And sometimes we'll put up with anything just to be by somebody. You need friends, but who? I think the difference is depending on your stage of life. With young kids, you will do much better with people lockstep with your kids' activities, lawn chairs, bleacher seats, tryouts, practices, and games. In the empty nest phase of life, or for parents in a 50-50 split, right? Some of you are great 50% of the time when you're with your kids and you're down lonely on the every other week or every other weekend. What a tough roller coaster ride. My heart breaks for that whole situation. And for those of you who have zero or low custody of your kids, I acknowledge your pains too. A quiet house can be a painful experience. I mean, quite frankly, one time I said I'd never do it again. I had custody over my kids, and so I controlled vacations. And one year, I just decided it would be in the kids' best interest to spend Christmas morning with my ex-wife and her parents. My parents had passed away. And I just thought, well, how nice would it be for my kids to just wake up on a Sunday morning or Christmas morning and just enjoy Christmas morning with family. And so matter of fact, I sat on this couch alone When I say it was the worst day of my life, I mean, it's in the top 3. I was an indescribable lonely, and a lonely that couldn't be fixed, because what could I do? I couldn't even go to a movie theater or a restaurant. It was Christmas, and it was a Sunday, I think, too, so everything's closed. And I'm not gonna reach out to anybody. I did have people afterwards say, "Oh, you should have called me." Well, that's nice, and I'm sure they meant it, but what am I gonna do? Go sit at your house at Christmas and sit on the chair and watch your family open gifts? Like, some of us are in real situations that are lonely and unfixable.